Hey guys, Fusa Reese here, wedding photographer and blogger from New Jersey, participating in Tim King's 30-day blog challenge. Today we're going to talk about installing a really cool, awesome plugin called One SEO, and it's for WordPress blogs. It's a plugin that will help you rename your images and just add some more text behind the scenes that Google picks up and helps you boost your SEO and be found online. So the first thing we need to do is install the plugin. So you would go to Plugins, Add New to find the plugin, and it's called All-in-One SEO. And a few variations of this will come up. The one that I really like, I'll show you in a minute, as SEO Pack. So I already have it installed. You would click Install, and then it's going to take you to like the Admin or Options configuration panel. So a lot of people will install this plugin but not really update it or even use in their blog posts, which I'm going to show you today what we actually do with that plugin in the blog posts. So here it is, and where it says Options Configuration Panel. Then you fill this out with information. Remember when you did your keyword list? So you're going to, mine here is the title, whatever the title is, it appears here, and I recently changed it, so it's going to take a while to make that change. So above your URL is your title. So I just put some of my information here: photographer, wedding, photos, bride, keywords. But here it says home keywords is where you're going to add that huge list of all your keywords. Everything else I pretty much leave the same. Some people will change this information a little bit. And then you click update options. And remember my tips, like I'm not really an SEO expert. I'm just kind of passionate about it, and I've learned SEO in a grassroots manner. And I try to explain it and try to do it for myself in a really hands-on and simple manner, because it can get complex for sure. And when I go do a new post, all the way at the bottom, here we go. It says All-in-One SEO Pack, and I need to make sure I'm filling out all this information. So I see some photographers install it and even fill out the options in the admin area, but not work on this. So once you start blogging and doing this, when you go to your dashboard and it says all posts, this is what it's going to look like. And you could go back to old blog posts and fill in the information. So SEO title, SEO keywords, SEO description. So mine are mostly filled out, some are not, because it might be a draft, like this one is here. So this is what your dashboard should look like now. So let's get into actually blogging. So let's say I just photographed a wedding and it was vintage theme. Just let's say that. And I decided I really want to focus on the whole vintage theme instead of the venue, okay? So my title, you always try to get a keyword in there. So vintage wedding, Sue and Bob. Or you could actually name the venue, or vintage themed wedding. My next really important thing is my first two sentences. I definitely want to have my main idea. Always remember, we have a main idea. So I'm either going to focus on the venue, on the type of the wedding, or maybe decoration, decor, or color scheme, or if it's details, etc. So I would say I had a wonderful time. And let me get out of HTML mode here. Go to visual. I had a wonderful time photographing a lovely vintage themed wedding. So a couple mistakes sometimes I see photographers do is either they'll write like a huge blog post this big, not many people are really big readers, or they'll write 3 sentences. So you do want to have, they recommend 250 words, which can be a lot sometimes, but definitely don't have just 2 sentences. So I had a wonderful time photographing a lovely vintage themed wedding at Bayonne, let's say Bayonne Farm, which is a farm in New Jersey. So then my next sentence, I might say something else, about the details or about the couple, etc. The important thing here is the word photographing or the word wedding, I'm going to highlight. Oh, it's not letting me. And I'm going to link. Whenever somebody says link back to me, this is what they do. So they click that little chain, and I'm going to actually link back to my own website or even my own blog. If I want to say, remember so-and-so's lovely engagement session, then I would take the word engagement, link it back to the old blog post. So I will write, and now it's time for uploading images. So what I do as part of my workflow is once I separated my favorites for my blog, I already renamed the idea that I have. So either New Jersey wedding photography. So here I would have renamed my images in Lightroom saying vintage inspired wedding. And I would use dashes to separate. Supposedly, dashes are more foundable for Google images. I don't know. You know, who knows what Google really does, but it's been working so far, and that's what I do. So here I use Blogstomp, which resizes and puts your logo really quick. Blogstomp, change your settings so it doesn't rename by the date, but it keeps the original name, okay? Very important if you use Blogstomp. So here in Crystal Springs Wedding Resort, so I focused on, for this one, I focused on the actual venue. So I'm going to choose this, but let's pretend this was a vintage themed wedding so I could show you and share with you guys this stuff. And today's video is going to be a little longer than usual just because I really want it to be hands-on. I want you to rewatch, stop, play, go back, and do it yourself. So here it's already renamed by dashes. So then many times what I'll do is I will just copy and paste if I'm in a hurry. But what I've been doing lately, so let's say here, this is a photo for the alternate text. So the three areas you want to have something in is title, alternate text, and description. I never mess with caption because that actually is visible for people to see in their blog posts. So alternate text, I might put photo of bride with children, or the kids with flower girls and ring boy. So here, sorry, we're back to our vintage inspired wedding, New Jersey. So I might do photo of here, or I might do vintage inspired wedding photographed by Fuseries. Yes, this takes time, but it's free and it works. So insert the post, and I would do that for all the remaining images that I want to put in there. The next thing I have to do is fill out category would be weddings. Then for my keywords, I would put more than vintage inspired, I can't spell, vintage inspired wedding, vintage wedding details. Let's say it was gold and white bouquet or gold and white wedding. And then the name of the venue, and I probably put New Jersey wedding photographer. I always put that in there. It's a high ranked word, which is not easy to rank for, but I always include it anyway. So then, because you have the all-in-one SEO pack, you have to go all the way in the bottom, and you have to fill this out. So the title will be vintage inspired or themed wedding Bayonne Farm. Then here, I'd probably just copy and paste by Fusa. And here I would put even more keywords because the tag words up on top, like that's visible in your blog post. So here you could go really crazy. So vintage inspired wedding, vintage wedding, New Jersey. And you could save a list somewhere that all you're doing is copying and pasting all the time, so you don't have to retype. So once we filled out all our keywords and we are ready to publish, let's go back, and then we are ready to publish. I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, it is time consuming. It's not so easy, but it does work. And it does help you get found in Google with either via images, which has happened to me. I've been contacted by places that they found my image online somewhere, or fellow vendors and brides and couples. Definitely have some engagement sessions coming up because of SEO and because of my constant blogging, and I recommend blogging twice a week. Thanks so much. Come back tomorrow for more, because we're going to do a blog review.